everybody, One of Wiisdom here, 2:14 in the morning. Funny, it would be that time, because I just mentioned in our previous introduction of Dr. Crankcase making the Love Doctor as a Valentine's Day special edition. Anyway, the start of Crankcase's video, the first 10 minutes, I sort of covered some new revelations in the game. One of which being speed is boosted here at the Academy, just so everyone can kind of get around quicker. Number 2 has to do with Skylanders research and how leveling and lots of other things impact changes in the stats and attack damage, therefore making my life extremely difficult in terms of what we try to do with Skylanders research. So if you're curious about that and you skipped Crankcase, go check that out. Put it in order because I wanted as many people as possible to be aware of what was going on. That said, who we're going to introduce now is someone that I thought would be very, very popular. I didn't really have anyone request him. I think a couple, maybe one or two, requested him to be expedited in the unboxings. But out of all the characters, you knew there were certain ones people were super hyped up for, were fond of based on the B-roll and E3 footage, etc. But one of the relatively new ones is Mysticat, and I thought he would just be the bee's knees for like the user base. That hasn't been the case, and I don't know if it's just because he's like new enough that there's enough of a segment that's unaware of his existence, and didn't know that he was cool or that they would like him. And so I wanted to get him introduced and kind of see what he was like myself. And even when I look back at the unboxings, his doesn't have as many views as the other characters. I got it done pretty early too. So we're going to introduce him, and I'm very curious about him. He is a Magic Element Sorcerer, so let's see what he looks like in-game.
The Master of Mystery.
Ha! He had a yarn ball. That's great.
Here's a riddle. Who can make all your Imaginators stronger? Me.
Okay. I didn't really get to hear his voice well. Now, before I do anything, and I wanted to go get the Imaginite chest so I wouldn't forget, we're going to hit the pause button so we don't get surprise attacked like Crankcase and inadvertently wind up at level 2.
Most puzzling.
Alright, so let me do this because the numbers matter. His attack in-game is 6. His armor is 2, which is, I think, the lowest number I've seen. Speed 15, luck 14. He is currently not on the Skylanders game website, so I actually don't know what out of 350 they rank him at. He's got some great facial expressions, by the way. But let's go ahead, and again, since he's not on the website, I can't play like a voice file of his slogan, because that's the first time I've heard it. And to be honest with you, my AC is running, and I didn't really hear his voice well. Anyway, his slogan is the Master of Mystery. For centuries, Mysticat and the great sphinxes guarded the entrance to the enchanted desert with their famous riddles, which few could solve. Mysticat was a curious creature, imagine that, and had his own questions that even he could not answer. He was puzzled as to why others wanted to enter the enchanted desert so badly. So he decided to venture himself to find the answer. But instead of finding answers, he was attacked by wandering gypsies and evil sand raiders that scoured the desert looking for lost treasure. After fighting them off with his impressive sorcery skills, he returned to the elders and explained what happened. It was then that they revealed the true nature of the desert to him. They told him that what he saw was a vision of his own destiny, and that he was meant to protect all of Skylands, not just the enchanted desert. Master Eon was then invited to enter the desert to meet Mysticat to see if their two destinies were intertwined. When Eon emerged the next day, it was clear to him that Mysticat was meant to be one of his best senseis, and that he would one day shave his beard, but he kept that part to himself. So, there's sort of like a catnap deal. He is kind of like cat and sphinx and sorcerer and catnapping and alert. I thought he would be like a very serious character, and he kind of seems to be more playful than I expected based on this. But once again, 6'2", 15, 14. That's what I wanted to see before we screw it up. So I guess since we're on this screen anyway, let's just take a look at his upgrades. Box stock, we've got Laser Painter. Press X to channel a beam in front of you. Press XXX to push back enemies with a laser wave. That's sounding promising. At first I was thinking Double Trouble, and now, it's kind of like, elements of Zap are in there too. Coming over, we've got Paw Print. Press B to throw a magical staff. Well, that's interesting, you throw the whole staff. That creates a copycat and attacks with its own laser painter. I don't know if that's going to be like a play off of like a laser dot that cats would chase around or not. I think he's going to be a fun character. I don't know if he'll be good or not yet, but I think he's going to be a lot of fun, to say the least. That said, help me out. Meow-T. I don't know if that's help meow-T or help me out. I'm thinking it's help me out, like help me out, a play on words. So I think we read it right the first time. Help me out, if you will. 500, you can now have up to 2 copycats active at a time. After that, we've got Disappearing At. This is so great. Kudos to whoever named these. Press Y to leave a decoy. You become invisible and run really fast. Reappear with an explosion at your location and your decoy's location. Very cool. So Stealth Elf meets Trap Shadow type of a vibe here. Cat's Familiar. These are so punny. There's the yarn balls too. So Cat's Familiar. Press X to create magic yarn balls that circle around you. And lastly, we've got Possum Painter. Your lasers hit an additional time. XXX shoots a wider laser spread. Very cool. So 1200, 900, 700, 500 respectively for our base upgrades. No clue what the paths are called at this point in time. We'll go with top and bottom for now. Top one begins with Catastrophic Chasers. Conjure 4 Cats Familiars when you press X. They will do increased damage each time they hit an enemy. After that, you've got Patience as a Virtue. Oh man. Lasers are larger and increase in damage over time. XXX casts a much wiser laser spread. After that, First Degree Perns. Copycats create an explosion of magical energy when hit with a laser or Cat's Familiar. Copycats also create this explosion when they time out. So it seems to be fairly balanced there, right? Let's look at the bottom. The Feline's Mutual. Disappearing Axe Explosion hits harder and wider. Press Y to cause an explosion when entering stealth. Keep your friends close. Hold Y when you are invisible to cause your copycats to charge at nearby targets for area damage. Your decoy explodes shortly afterwards too. And then we've got Not Kidding Around, which you can now have 3 copycats active at a time. Their charging explosion is stronger, as well as the decoy's explosion. So we're going to have to kind of get a feel for these base upgrades before we can kind of feel out the paths, I believe. But this one kind of seems to be more based around the tertiary, whereas this one kind of hits primary and secondary more. Particularly, it's kind of primary tertiary with a blend of secondary, if you will. Right here, Konichapa. So this soul gem can be found in Shellmont Shores. Hold X to conjure a rift that shoots homing projectiles and creates a copycat. Sky Chi, the Sorcerer Sensei Shrine, can be found in Scholarville, which we're about to go. Well, I think that's level 3, chapter 3. Again, I don't even know if these are levels or chapters in this game. Oh no. What happened here? Oh, okay, that was just a web page crashed. Fantastic. Skychi, Domo Arigato. No. No. Man, Mr. Roboto. Okay, so Domo Arigato, Histerifato. Okay. I still, in Crankcase, we have Spin Doctor stuck in our head, and now it's Styx. So yeah, we're kind of learning a little bit about the guys and gals that develop the characters, aren't we? And their music choices. The Ultimate Sensei Attack. I wonder if anyone's a Christopher Cross fan. Get some sailing away, going. The ultimate sensei attack, hold right trigger to create a sensational yarn ball rift that shoots out Cat's familiars. Move around with left stick. So this might be one of the most amusing series of upgrades I've ever read in the game. So once again, I genuinely thought like this guy would be super popular. You know, you got Chaos that you know is going to go over well, Wolfgang and Crankcase, very, very hyped. I felt like Aurora and Starcast being light and dark, but just looking at the standard characters, right? Like the original 8 elements, if you will, excluding, you know, the villains, reformed villains, if you will. Ambush and Ambush particularly had a lot of hype built up. You know, Tri-Tip, not so much. Barbella was new, and nobody really had a big request for her. Airstrike, I also haven't seen a lot of people pushing. But out of all of those, particularly the newest ones, even though there's not much known from like the majority of the fan base, the hardcore people would be aware of them. Casual fans and, you know, probably clueless. But if you got all of them together, hardcore, casual, and then sort of like the mid-tier, that kind of keeps up on things but not everything type of a vibe, I feel like if you just stuck the Skylanders in front of them and you had a purple magic cat, I feel like it would have been just, oh, you know, must have 17 or something, you know. I don't know, but I think this guy is going to turn out to be pretty cool. So it's going to take some time with these base upgrades to kind of get a feel for him and decide what we want to do with him. But I think he should be fun, and he looks very playful, so... let's see here. It's Laser Painter and Paw Print. So press B to throw a magical staff. And then channel in front of you. Push away. Alright, let's see what we can do with this. So, again, the speed, don't pay attention to it because everyone's pretty quick here. I think roughly the same speed. In-game, it'll be when it slows down, sadly. So, his artwork looks pretty solid, I have to say. Health is 220 for my future reference. Primary attack. Ooh, a yarn ball was forming, huh? Will that do anything if it hits him? I guess it kind of passes through. So can we spam this? Or will it just... Oh, wow. So 16 and 24 standard, and then on the third one, we just... Let me get a look at that. I guess it's like 3 at once, and it does 64, so... 16x3 would be 48, but I'm not going to argue with 64 to 96 box stock. That's amazing. Secondary attack, let's see what we get with it. Oh. Come now. Come on. Doesn't look like the copy can pick up items if they could do that. Good lord. That thing was around for quite a while. Let's just count how long we have the copy. About 15 seconds roughly. That is significant. Usually stuff like this you've got like 5 to 8 seconds. So for box stock to get 15, how many times does it attack? There's the initial one hit of 37. That was staff attack 1, staff attack 2, staff attack 3, staff attack 4. So basically an initial impact of 37 and then 4 staff attacks. What I'm going to do now is spawn one and then spam click B and see if the first dissipates and if we just continuously can get 37. So there's that. Okay, yeah, you can basically use this as a standalone lob attack that'll do 37 to 56, which is insane in and of itself. Let's see what happens. We'll let that guy run over here. Yeah, right now, as soon as you throw that staff again, any time left on your initial guy, it's going to dissipate. Note he does leave the footprints. It's just kind of hard to see them down here. Can we jump and launch a secondary attack? Yes. Awesome. Let's wait till that guy's... Yeah, we'll wait till he's done. Now we're going to jump and see if we get a slam attack. Kind of. Let's see what that looks like from here. I actually want to see what the XXX looks like. Very cool. I'm impressed by this guy, I have to say. Before I forget, run up here. I hope we don't get surprise attacked. And if I see an enemy, I'm not being a coward. I'm running away from them for the sake of Skylanders research. But I do want to try and remember to open the Imaginite chest when we get the opportunity. So, obviously I forgot there. You know, this is Mysticat's.
New Tail.
Okay, so the King's Tail. Interesting. Alright, that's it. I believe this covers everything we needed to do. It's nice when I don't have to ramble for 6 to 10 minutes about something in the game, and we just get to focus on the character. But, like I said, this guy, those were the, some of the most clever path names I have ever seen. So my sincerest kudos to whoever came up with these, whether it was an individual that handled it or a team or whatever it may have been. I genuinely enjoyed it, and for that I appreciate it. And I don't have the Spin Doctor stuck in my head, but they did get the Styx reference in there, didn't they? Anyway, guys, I am going to cut here. I'm going to go see what the recordings look like. I looked at the first one because, again, I updated the recording software a bit in hopes that maybe the Twitch issues would get taken care of. And what I will do is edit that video, and then I will probably introduce... I would think y'all would want to see Ambush next, and then we may do another villain just to keep it balanced, and I might move into Ember. Personally, I'm really anxious to see Airstrike. But that's it. I think this guy is going to go over pretty well once people sort of see him in game and, you know, start to appreciate him. But right now, it could just be, I mean, you've got the starter pack everyone's going to have. Pretty much everybody got Chaos today, which is ridiculous and amazing. You've sort of got like your high draw characters, the ones we're super familiar with, and then people that have variants and whatnot. And so if this guy is getting overlooked, I think that's going to quickly be remedied when people see him in games. So I mean, let's face it, the 64 is just insane. 6496 box stock from basically your, you know, spam combo, and then the fact that you can just continuously crank out 37 from projectiles is crazy. Do you see what I'm doing here? We've got that guy attacking. Check this out. If you ever had enemies at the edge of a world, I'm gonna throw the clone over here, well, over here, and now look, I can crank this guy through and get to 37 while this one still attacks. You'll have to have it positioned correctly, but like right now, that guy is attacking. It's not hitting them, but we're still able to do the 37. You kind of see what I was saying there. It was going beautifully the first time. But anyway, I will wrap this one up. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on Mysticats, and we will go with hashtag Styx for this one. So leave a comment with hashtag Styx. It can be standalone, it can be whatever you wanted to say, like first hashtag Styx. I will give you a bonus brick in the Wall of Wiisdom. Wall of Wiisdom is basically my way of thanking you for supporting the channel, for commenting on the videos, subscribing, following, whatever it may be that we're talking about at the time. But it's something I do on the Wiisdom Plays Minecraft series. I build the Wall of Wiisdom. It's a community build, and it immortalizes you with an in-game shout-out. So if you are unfamiliar with that, maybe you haven't been watching the channel since like Superchargers last year or something, check it out, particularly if you're into Minecraft. I think you'll like what I'm doing there. We've also got the MindLogic server, the Walkthrough King and I run. We got some cool people on there. Enjoy those episodes as well. And seriously, check out Stardew Valley. I'm always amazed, like, I realize it's an indie game and some people are like totally oblivious to it and it's PC and whatnot, but it's coming to consoles, and it's, if you enjoy Animal Crossing or Harvest Moon, I think you will love the game. It's hilarious. That's why I play it, because I like it. It gets the lowest views of pretty much anything I've ever done. Some of the episodes do okay, but like some of them hover around 20. And I don't really know why, because it's amazing. I feel like it's pretty hilarious too. I do voices for all the characters. I think you'll enjoy it, so check it out. Let me know your thoughts there. You can even comment back here if you're so inclined, or if you just don't want people to see you comment on something non-Skylanders. I don't know what your logic is, but if you're looking for something different, maybe something new you haven't seen before, check out my Stardew Valley videos. I think you'll like them. But Nonetheless, enough plugging, I suppose. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Mysticat. Follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Beam in case Twitch doesn't work like it's done here lately. SkylanderClub.com, I created the forum, I run it. If you like it, sign up. I'd love to have you join us. OneOfWiisdom.com is my personal website. And if you are not subscribed, please do so. Share the channel with your friends. Leave a like. Your support is always appreciated. And I will catch you back here for our next Imaginators introduction.